and you to whom the circle of the sciences is open. Thomas and you who may be said to be replete with facts. Thomas and you who have been trained to mathematical exactness. Thomas and.
Good. And Janet, would you like to take over from here? Thank you.
You here, cried Mr. Gradgrind.
You here, cried Mr. Gradgrind, in this degraded position. I am amazed the children return home in disgrace, and are met by their father's friend, Mr. Bounderby, an equal strict Victorian gentleman. Well, blustered Mr. Bounderby, what's the matter? What is young Thomas in the dumps about? He spoke of young Thomas, but he looked at Louisa. We were peeping at the circus, muttered Louisa haughtily, without lifting up her eyes, and father caught us, and Mrs. Gradgrind said her husband in a lofty manner, I should as soon have expected to find my children reading poetry. Dear me, whimpered Mrs. Gradgrind. How can you, Louisa and Thomas? I wonder at you. I declare you're enough to make one regret ever having had a family at all. I have a great mind to say I wish I hadn't. Then what would you have done? I should like to know. Mr. Gradgrind did not seem favourably impressed by these cogent remarks. He frowned impatiently as if with my head in its present throbbing state. You couldn't go and look at the shells and minerals and things provided for you instead of the circuses, said Mrs. Gradgrind.
Okay, well done, all three of you. Good. Now we're just going to answer these questions as we go along. So the first question on top is, the Gradgrind children, Louisa and Thomas, are caught watching the circus without permission, Father asked. What do you do? And something, there's a blank there which you need to answer. So you need to choose one of the correct answers. So the Gradgrind children, Louisa and Thomas, are caught watching the circus without permission. Father asked, what do you do? Something. What is that word, do you think? You can have a look in the text, obviously, and check the four options that you've got there for you as well. And then send me a message in the chat box, please. So what do you do? And what was the last word there? Yeah, you could just put your hand down in mine, okay? We're just going to go through this together for now. Okay, so in this case, you're right. It is, yep, all three of you right. It is C. So Father asks, what do you do here? Which is correct. Well done. Look at the next question. So, wanted to see what it was like, returned something. What do you think the next key word is going to be? Wanted to see what it was like, returned something. So these are your options here. 4 options, you can have a look there. Okay, so let's have a look at this, see what we've all got. And I think, yeah, well done. Again, all of you got that one right. So it's going to be Louisa, which is option B. Good. Let's have a look at the next one. Father said he found it difficult to believe that something had brought Louisa to a scene like this. Choose the correct option. So father said he found it difficult to believe that something had brought Louisa to a scene like this. Choose the correct option. Is it A, B, C, or D? So I'll just review the question again. So father said he found it difficult to believe that something had brought Louisa to a scene like this. Who do you think it would be? Just a few more seconds. Okay, good. So it's going to be Thomas in this case, which is correct. Thomas, well done, all three of you got this one right. And Thomas, and you here, cried Mr. Gradgrind. Thomas, and you here, cried Mr. Gradgrind. In this something position, I am amazed. So with this particular sentence, what word do you need to actually complete the sentence from the text? In this something position. In this something position. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be in this degraded position. Degraded means not in a very nice position. And the next one, on their way home, they met an equally strict Victorian gentleman. On their way home, they met somebody who's an equally strict Victorian gentleman. Got four options there. So who did they meet that was equally Victorian gentleman? Good. So Mr. Boundarby, which is D, well done. So what does the phrase "red and disconcerted" imply? What does the phrase in the text "red and disconcerted" actually mean? Have a look at the options. What does the phrase "red and disconcerted" mean? Disconcerted mean? Getting red and disconcerted. Okay, so I would say that in this case, yeah, it's A, to get angry. Well done. And what reasons did Mr. Gradgrind give for being amazed at finding Thomas at the circus? What reasons did Mr. Gradgrind give for being amazed at finding Thomas at the circus? So I'll go through the question again. What reasons did Mr. Gradgrind give for being amazed at finding Thomas at the circus? Okay, good. Yeah, so Thomas showed irresponsible behavior in this case, so which is correct. Well done. And the next one, how did the children know Mr. Bounderby? How did the children know Mr. Bounderby? How do they actually know Mr. Bounderby? What do you think could be the answer for this one? Okay, so I would go, in this one, I would go for father's friend. Yes, so he was a father's friend. That's good. And there's a quotation from the text that says, we were peeping at the circus, muttered Louisa haughtily, without lifting her eyes, and father caught us. What does this sentence suggest about how Louisa was feeling? What do you think? We were peeping at the circus, muttered Louisa haughtily, without lifting her eyes, and father caught us. What does this sentence suggest about how Louisa was actually feeling at the time? Have a look. Just have a look one more time, all of you. Just double check this one. Yeah, so in this case, it will be Louisa was upset and she was angry. Louisa was actually upset and she was angry, but she wasn't really ashamed in that sense, okay? Who regretted ever having a family at all? Who regretted having a family at all? Who regretted having a family? Was it Louisa, Thomas, Mrs. Gradgrind, or Mr. Bounderby? So what do you think, Anaya?
I found that it was Mrs. Gradgrind
Mm-hmm. Why do you say so?
because in the last paragraph, it's in her. It says that she said it.
Yeah, okay. So Mrs. Gradgrind is it. Well done. We'll go for this one. Option C for the right answer. And the next question is, what did Mrs. Gradgrind think the children should have been doing instead of looking at circuses? What do you think Mrs. Gradgrind thinks the children should have been doing instead of looking at circuses? What do you think could be it? Okay, Jannat, would you like to give me an answer?
B.
Sorry?
B.
B. But that's not what you put down in your answer just now.
It is.
Is it? Okay. Preparing for the exams. Did they take any exams?
No.
No, they didn't. Try again. Sounds nice that Mrs. Gradgrind would want them to prepare for the exams, but not in this case. In this case, it's going to be examining shells and minerals, which is A. Okay? Good. Let's go to the next one. Mr. Gradgrind believed his children should spend their time learning facts. Is it true or false? Mr. Gradgrind believes his children should spend their time learning facts. Now, facts are things that are true to life, and opinions are reasons that could be or could not be true depending on your opinion. So you might feel that it's cold today, I might feel it's hot today, so that's an opinion. But a fact is that so far today it hasn't rained, which is true. So Mr. Gradgrind believes his children should spend their time learning facts. According to this text, do you think it's true or false? Hi, Iman, what do you think?
I think it's true because in the text it says their father believes they should spend their time learning facts.
Good. So this will be true. Well done. And we're just coming on to the next question, which is, children told their father that they are planning to visit the circus. Is this true or false? So the children told their father that they are planning to visit the circus. Is this true or false?
I know.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't realize I had you on mute. Yeah, go ahead.
It's false
Why is it false?
because in the text it says they kept it secret because their father doesn't want them going to the circus.
Okay, and did they go to a circus?
Yes.
Well done. Let's go to the next one. So, children told their father that they are planning to visit the circus. So they are planning to visit the circus, right? So this one, let's go to Inaya. Inaya?
I think it's false because when their father catches them, he wouldn't tell them off if he knew that they would be going.
Good, well done. And the last question, Thomas went alone to see the circus. Is this true or false? So Thomas went alone to see the circus. Is this true or false? Inaya, as you're on there, go ahead.
It's false, because Louisa went with him.
Good. Okay, well done. So that was comprehension, by the way. Right, ignore these two because this is right there. All right, so just ignore them too. So do you remember last week I said to you I was going to send you some homework, and I didn't. There were a couple of reasons, because I had a few things I had to update on here for Year 6 Maths and English. So what we're going to do is, for homework, I'm going to be sending you 2 topics. One is place value, one is number sequences, and you've actually both done, all 3 of you have done these 2 topics last week with me and the week before. So we'll just make that into your formal homework for this Thursday. Is that all right? Yeah? So place value, the top one on the right, and also number sequences, the top one on the right as well. So you're going to have 2 pieces of homework, and if you could do both of them for me for this Thursday. So when I send you a pair, when I send Mum an email, on the email you'll have 2 links. So you press one and just press the red buttons and do the questions, and then go back to the email again, press the link for the second one, and then you can do exactly the same thing, go straight into that homework. So place value and number sequences. Is that all right? Yeah?
Yes.
Good stuff. Okay, kids, so well done. That was a short lesson today, but we managed to do the comprehension quicker than I actually thought. I didn't realize it was going to be this quick, but well done. And hopefully I'll see you on in Thursday, inshallah, okay? All right. Take care then. Thank you so much. I'll send the homework tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.